Mosquitoes are out. Well, hello there. Thank you for coming back. And if you're new, welcome to my channel here on YouTube. My name is Brittany, and I am the owner of Crux Fibres, where I hand dye yarn and provide spinning fibers, or fibers for those who dabble in any sort of fiber craft. I am a knitter and a crocheter. I'm working towards sewing again. What else do? I love to bake sourdough, and I work at home, so I'm always doing all of the home things. And I have a few kids, so I'm often watching them, but they're in school. So usually I'm home by myself with our cat Heidi and our rabbit Agnes. So yeah, my husband John is currently in bed. This is not the morning, this is the evening, and it's actually almost 10:30 p.m. And here in the Yukon, it is almost the summer solstice, which falls on June 21st, which is also my husband and my anniversary of 9 years married. So you can find me here on YouTube as Crux Fibres, and on Instagram and on Ravelry also as Crux Fibres. I'm so glad that you're here, so thank you for either returning as a viewer or just joining for the first time. So we live here in Whitehorse, Yukon, and I am a crafter and sourdough baker. Did I say that? I do all sorts of wonderful, fun things. But anyways, I thought tonight would be a good fun time to podcast, because I would love to share with you what it's like for me in the evening when I'm crafting. I see my phone is trying to focus often, so hopefully I can get it to stop doing what it's doing. But anyways, I really wanted to just get on here and show you guys what it's like at night for me to craft. So this is it. The sun sets tonight around, I think it was 11:32 p.m. So that means that the sun goes below the horizon, and it's not going to go very low at all. It'll be sort of like twilight outside, and then it will rise in the morning at about 4:29 tomorrow in the morning. So people ask me often, how do I do it? I don't know. It's something you get used to. And it's not like it's this bright in the evening and the morning all the time. It's a gradual change. So, but I am starting to suffer a little. I keep waking up rather early and not really getting the sleep that I need. So yeah. So anyways, I have a lot of finished objects to share with you, and a few works in progress that I haven't shown in a while. And otherwise, just a quick little catch up. It's been a while since I've podcasted. I was recently in Dawson Creek in Edmonton for 2 fiber festivals that I was vending at. And then I was also able to visit Sierra and the Crocus Country Shepherdess, and I was able to go and see the flock of sheep again, which I was just there a few months ago. But this time I got to see the lambs. That was really nice. I got to just sit in their, they were still sort of in their enclosed area that they weren't grazing yet, but I got to sit there just for a few hours of the day and, I don't know, just sit there. And it was hot, so they were all bed down, and I sat on a bucket, and a few of the sheep who were more friendly came and sat next to me, right up next to me, and I got to give them pets, and got to see the lambs running around and, you know, nursing on their moms, and it was really wonderful. And I got to spend some time with my friend Heidi Bradley, and yeah, I drove the whole way myself, and after I arrived back, or sorry, not back, but once I arrived in Edmonton, my husband had flown to join me to help me at the event, and then we drove back together. And so that took a few days to get there and a few days to get back. And yeah, it was a wonderful trip, wonderful time visiting friends at the events. So it's always nice to see people in person, and talk yarn and fiber and visit the sheep. So yeah, I have, like I said, lots of things to share with you, to show. I will try to go through it not too fast. My phone might run out of memory. So if that happens, I might just have to pause and finish maybe tomorrow, or quickly make some room on my phone. The first, let me think. I'll start with something that I've spun. I launched my spin a flock. So if you've been here for a while, I've been working with this flock for a few years now, 3 years. And I had some of the fleeces, 10 fleeces, processed into fiber. And then I spun them. Look at all these. This is the whole samples of the 10 fleeces. So if you purchased the spin a flock from my recent shop update, these are the shades you would have received. All of the white to gray scale. So this is, let's see, this is Grim. He's no longer with us. This is Rue. This is Rose's daughter. I spun these all 2-ply. This is Tansy. She's a Icelandic ewe. And her children from last year was Tess. And I just need to look at these guys. Feel first. Tess and one of her fiber weathers. So it was a fiber weather, so he's no longer with the flock. He's now nourishing those at a table. Tess lambed this year, so she had her first lamb. And then this was a fiber weather from a few years ago. I mean, obviously this is evening and there's sunlight behind me, but I just wanted to share what I've been spinning. And here's Nora. Talked about her. She's really lightened up. Here, I'll show you. Jones was her lamb. So Nora used to be about this color, but she's really lightened up to this light gray. And here's Torfall. Or is that the other way around? 1 second. No, this is Nora. That's Jones. This is Torfall. And this is Leia. So I spun all of these. They're so squishy. Oh. I spun them woolen, the default woolen drafted long draw. And I enjoyed every minute spinning them. I don't know what my plans are for those, but they will be good. The sun's going to start to peek around, and it's going to get a bit warmer color in our house. I can see the sunlight across the kitchen right now, and so it's feeling really cozy. So the spin a flock I launched, I don't know, end of May, and that sold out. I do have some fiber still available, but I've taken off the website right now. I've taken a little bit of a break, a little hiatus from Instagram, just to focus on me and get some direction for life and work. What do I want to do? So that's all that I've spun. I've got other things that I've been spinning, but otherwise, yeah. I have several things that I've worked with my hand spun, but the first thing I want to show you that I finished is actually, while I was in Edmonton, I casted on the Inclinations Cowl by Andrea MowryLaulu. So there's 2 colors here. The gray stripes that you see, that's mix wool. He's from my low mileage wool. And then the pops of color you're seeing is my colorway Chaos on my BFL 2-ply base, and then Chaos 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's funny names, hey? I love this cowl. Oh my goodness. I did not realize how big this cowl is, because when you see designers pumping out like bandana cowls like this over and over, you know the construction, you know how it's going to work. You could, if you're an experienced knitter, you could probably just draft it up yourself, really. But the difference in looking at a pattern to doing something yourself is this gives you gauge, and this gives you like a rough estimate of size. But anyways, I'll try to get up closer. I just love it. So here's Chaos. I made it on a day where I just felt like it's just full of chaos. The whole day was chaos. And then Chaos 2 Electric Boogaloo, it's trying to be this. So it's 2 colorways, same dyes, but set at different rates of temperature. So one becomes more subdued and one is more striking because of when I apply the dye. So yeah, I really love this, the Inclinations Cowl. I need to weigh this out to see how much yarn I actually used, but I used 2 skeins of my hand-dyed yarn, held double, and then 1 skein of my low mileage wool, I think. I used up Mick. I was using scraps, so all my little leftovers I used. So I'll weigh it out and figure out the math for how much yarn I used of each, but I'm hoping to get this into a newsletter so I can talk about it. It is so wonderful. It's half fisherman's rib. And when I was working on it, I was like, this thing's getting huge. I wonder if my gauge is off. But after I looked at the schematic on which direction you're knitting it in and which way you're going to actually seam it, I realized, oh, actually I'm getting close to being done, and I should have been switching colors sooner, but I'm actually happy with when I swapped colors, because this thing is pretty big, so cozy, and Mick and my hand-dyed yarn, or my low mileage wool and my hand-dyed yarn, they go so good together. So if you're wanting to get some of my low mileage wool, but the price point is too high for you, but you'd also want to add some color, this is a great option, is combining the 2 yarns together. It really worked out well. So yeah, Inclinations Cowl by Andrea Mowry, low mileage wool, and my hand-dyed BFL fingering weight. Match made in heaven. I love it. I will insert some photos as well of this vest that I have knit. This was with my handspun. I shared ages ago this Shetland handspun that I had spun up. And this is the Vintage Vibe Vest by Anna from the Bluebird box. I adore this thing. It fits me so well, like not oversized and negative ease. Is that right? Negative ease. Or at least, yeah, I think I have negative ease. I should actually measure things out, but I just love it. My handspun in this is just perfect. Like, I don't know if you would even tell this is handspun. So this was Shetland and some Suffolk that I actually blended on my carder and spun into a 3-ply. Woolen prepped, woolen or semi-woolen prepped, and woolen long draw. So it's very airy. And in some lights you can actually see some hues of color, because I also had a braid of Shetland that was dyed. It was like really dark Shetland that was over dyed, and I needed some more Shetland for this bat that I had carded, so I blended it all together. So it kind of is like a cold brown, or maybe warm tone dark gray. So I love it. I'll insert some photos for you to see. Anyways, this is from Anna. The design is from Anna of the Bluebird box. It's a seamless design, top down. And she just released the pattern. So the Vintage Vibe Vest, which I actually named. So I suggested the names and she liked it, and everyone else voted for it. I used the recommended needle size, and though this looks like there's I-cord edging, there's no I-cord edging. It is very, very well thought out edging. Like, you do have to pick up stitches along the edges, but that takes no time at all. And the amount of rows that you're knitting to complete these edges are just as brilliant. I love the shaping. Anna is just, I always rave about her. I've talked about her on the podcast so many times. I love this vest, and I wore it with a clip to keep it closed, or up to my collarbones here. And it's really perfect for like spring, or I was wearing it with a white top that was lighter fabric in the back, and I just felt like that day I was going to feel cold, so I put the vest on and it was just perfect. So yeah, that is number 2 FO. I'm going to whiz through these, I'm sorry, but not at the same time. And I'm not even doing these in order. My other FO is my Skarn shawl. This is in my handspun as well. So last year I did the Tour de Fleece, and I spun a 4-ply combo spin. One single had Romney from Melly Knits that I spun. One ply was all of the samples from my first low mileage wool mill run that I spun into a single. Another single was a bat that I had blended that contained like CVM, merino, silk, alpaca, cormo, I don't know, a bunch of good stuff, soft stuff. I'm tired. Soft stuff. And then I had a bat that I got from Akar Yarns, and it was very green, and it was very green. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the singles. And then when I was preparing to ply this yarn together, or the singles together, I did a little sample with the green, and I loved it. So this is a really fun, simple pattern. I've really been into broken rib lately. Like, I've knit a ton of broken rib things. And then there's this little detail here of pearl bump details. There you go. Such a light fabric with a really wonderful drape. And I've been wearing it a lot because it's just really cozy and a really wonderful size. So it looks like, you know, a gray, and then in direct sunlight you can see all the pops of color of purple and rust and chartreuse and green. Oh my goodness, little flecks, like light color of like taupe color from the CVM. And it's just a very subtle marling of all the plies, because there's 4 plies in this yarn, and it came out to be about a DK weight, or no, light worsted. And so I still have some yarn left over, surprisingly. I just love this. It's a wonderful, wonderful pattern. You start here and you work your way out this way to the long edge. So I'll see if I can get some footage or pictures up. Yeah, you can see some of the colors. Oh, I just love it so much. The Skarn shawl. And so that pattern is in the 52 Weeks of Shawls by Lina magazine. Lina, I think. It's the only shawl I've knit from that book, and we shall see. Obviously, everything I've knit is either like, well, mostly all neck. I have one hat I'll show. When I was at the yarn festivals, I wanted to show some more one skein projects that you can do with the low mileage wool. So I knit the Laulu Shawl by Sari Nordlund, and this is also mixed wool with cables. This is such a cute little shawlette. I knit this, actually I started knitting this when I had gone down to Alberta for the shearing of the low mileage wool growers. So I casted this on there. Such a cute little like scarf shawl thing. And it was really fun to knit. I loved the chart. Sari Nordlund is pretty well known for her cables and lace. But yeah, I really loved how this turned out. Yeah. Mick was blended with some mohair and some Coopworth from Wellington Fibre Mill. So I'm happy to have something of Mick's wool because he sadly passed away. So it's nice to commemorate him. Alright, I have 2 more FOs to share with you. The other one is something else that I was working on when I was down for the shearing. I think I shared this on the last podcast, but I was just basically knitting a giant tube. And so from my last mill run, I had 19 batches of yarn. And I was like, I need to test every single one. I don't feel comfortable sending something out into the world if I haven't handled it. So I took the mill ends, caked them up into like a giant cake. It was huge. It's in the last podcast, you can see it. And I started with the black and worked my way through all of the colors. You can see some subtle changes. Into the white, which the last white one would have been Vader and Rose, Elsa and Barbara, Frost, Cecil's Weather. I'm trying to see if I can remember them all. I'm not going to remember them all. I won't remember them all now. But I basically did an infinity scarf, and I twisted it when I seamed it. So this thing is like weighty. It's got some weight to it. But it is incredibly cozy. I think I did the same stitch count as the 3-color cashmere cowl. What I like about this is I could pull it like this, put my jacket on in the winter, because I had finished this in the early spring, put my jacket on over and close it up, and it just keeps me nice and cozy here. So yeah, this is just a nice way, I guess, to like show off all of the yarns from that mill run, but also just see how all of the yarn behaved, like with the same needle. The stitches were let's see, more open, or even like this one here, that fabric on a 3.5 millimeter needle was really nice. And some are looser, some are tighter, because the gauge of the yarn, or the thickness of the yarn, we're getting lots of sunlight. The thickness of the yarn was more. And then you got one that's a little looser. So I just did it all on the same needle and did this giant tube. So all of my low mileage was featured in a runway at a fashion show at the Gathering Threads Festival. So I had all of my like sweaters, Sierra's sweater as well, and this cowl, my 3-color cashmere cowl, my free mitts. I had them all on the runway, and I got some really nice photos back. So thank you to Gathering Threads for those wonderful photos, and the models who like did a wonderful job at showcasing the items. So yeah, I am just loving all of my low mileage wool, and I'm trying to figure out wonderful ways to incorporate my hand dyed yarn with them. So I've got ideas, I just need to make them come to fruition. All right, last FO before I move on to some works in progress. So I joined in Andrea Mowry's old port hat knit along, and I used Nutiden. This is brioche, and I used this is Dot's wool again. This is a Rito Arcot U that's from Femme Fiola in Manitoba. She's been featured as a inside brim for 2 hats so far. Anyways, I'm about to lose some memory, so I'm going to pause and clear up some space. Alright, so I don't remember the colorways looking at them. The purplish one my friend Loretta gave me. And then this one was in the, I think it was like December or January last year, around the time where it was my last order from them. Anyway, so it's a really nice knit. I actually hadn't done many brioche details before, like here in decreasing. But yeah, very easy hat actually. If you've ever, I've also knit her like there's a simple brioche hat that she has as well, 2-color, which is really easy and good for like beginners. Here's the crown. So really nice decreasing, you know, that white, this carries on across. And she said recently on her podcast the reason why it looks like this is because she wanted to create a hat that looked like it had ear flaps. So now this hat totally makes sense, because before I was like, I don't know if I liked the style, but I wanted to join in the knit along because it seemed like a fun challenge, like you're supposed to complete it over a weekend. So I completed it. I just wasn't on Instagram or at Ravelry to share that I completed it. And I didn't care about joining in on getting a prize or anything, but very warm, very cozy. And yeah, you knit this liner, so it's double. And I chose Dot's wool because my other hat that's knit with Nutiden knots my hair. So there's not an itch factor or anything, it's just the Nutiden will, especially when we're out hunting or going down the rivers on our boat, I just find the hat moves around on my head, and I get knots, little rat's nest on my head. So yeah, it's a really nice hat. I love it. Cozy, warm. I wore it like a whole day when it was sunny out and windy. So yeah, that's it for finished objects that I could quickly gather, because this was totally an impromptu filming. I have some works in progress. 2 sweaters that I thought I'd share with you guys that I haven't shown in a while. The first one I'll show is the sort of the friendship. Well, it is the friendship sweater I'm knitting with Loretta. I don't know how far Loretta is. We haven't spoken in a while. She's been very busy and life things. She's got children as well. But this is the Houndstooth sweater by Sophie Shawl. This is how far I'm into the body. I think I still have like this much more to go. I'm thinking I'm gonna do it cropped because this is quite a loud sweater for me. Like all over color work, and then the yoke gets really colorful. I've got like 10 different colors. Here's 4, 6, 7, oops, Oh, maybe it's 8. 8 colors? Yeah, I think so. 2, 4, 6, 8. CZs, C3s, C3 to whatever. So there's lots of colors to go up into the yoke. And the arm construction, like the cuff here, is like really cool. I can't wait to get to that. But the sleeves also have all over color work. I have not picked this up in a while, and every single time I do, and I get to the houndstooth chart, the 6th row, I keep fudging every time. So because that keeps happening, I now I'm not messing it up anymore. And I'm really happy with my color work. I've been making sure my main color is dominant, as in where I'm holding it on my hand, so closest to my heart. I'm using undyed BFL 3-ply DK, sport DK yarn that I sell, and then Beaver Lodge is the secondary color. So I'm really enjoying that sweater, and I hope to have that done for, I'm not rushing it, and I do enjoy working on it when I am working on it. I think things that make me not pick it up is the fabric feels heavy, slippery on the needles. I could have done wooden needles, but I just know that my row gauge really tightens up on wood needles. So I just taking my time with it to enjoy the process. And I'll have to check in with Loretta to see how far she is, but we both shared about it in January. We podcasted together. So that's the Houndstooth by Sophie Shawl, using I think the recommended needles, or might have gone up, or I don't know, I'll have to take a look. So good, well written pattern, and I'm really looking forward to the yoke. Of course, you know, it's where all the fun color work starts. The other sweater that I've shown, and I haven't shown in a while, is sitting on yarn. Also my pajamas, just so you know. I am knitting the Midnight Meadow? I don't remember what it's called now. Moonlight Meadow by Melody Hoffman. I have to double check. I think it's a Moonlight Meadow. Yeah, Moonlight Meadow by Melody Hoffman. So the last time I podcasted about this, I said, okay, I'm just gonna suck it up, and I'm just gonna do all over color work, and it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna do it. But I caved, and not because I didn't like the all over color work. I loved it, but I was thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up as much if it was just in a yoke. I really love just like a yoke sweater. So I decided to stop knitting the color work. I felt like with the unspun, I had enough fun with these stitches. Those rows take a long time, and though I don't mind taking a long time on a project, I just felt like with the unspun, I wouldn't enjoy this sweater as much. I would feel like every time I wear it, I might make the sweater more brittle. The clouds and the sun are going down. Sorry, the sun is going down. So, let's see what we can see here. Here's my color work. You can't see the color, obviously, but I've balled up 2 strands. This is called Mörker, I think. Maybe you can see the colors in the ball. Probably not. It's too bright behind me, hey? No? No? Okay. Probably just annoying you guys. It's basically like a brown, but in direct sunlight kind of looks a bit purplish for me. There's definitely like electric green and purple basically what they did was like they took all the colors of the rainbow and blended it in with dark brown, black. I don't know if it's black. There's definitely white fibers in there. But this is just magical. By far one of my favorite colorways. And I'm using this color. It's like a peachy pink. I don't remember what it's called. Morgan, maybe? Morgan? It might have been Morgan, actually. It's really pretty. This is one of the yarns that does not have Gotland in it anymore, so it's very squishy and airy. And then the other color was a Patreon only colorway. It was a pink. And I always, Vilgot. So I was using that. But then when I was working on the sleeves, I forgot I was using Vilgot. And I grabbed this colorway, which was released the same time as Snow was. So it's like a white with flecks of pink. Anyways, so I'm working on the sleeves because this is how I always knit my sweaters. I knit a good chunk of the body after the armpits and pick up for the sleeves and finish the sleeves because I'm not very large busted, but I am a little wider and my waist goes in, and once I put sleeves on, things change in the body. So I prefer knitting my sleeves first and then going on body island, not sleeve island. So I don't mind sleeves. I'm happy to do sleeves. It's my last cake of the plate. Aw, I'm sorry guys. Maybe I can bring it down this way. Oopsies. Probably not. Lost too much of like the nice light. Anyways, that's the last plate. So hopefully I'll have that done soon. I've been really obsessed with another project that I've been working on with Nutiden. I have all these little scraps, and basically what I want to do is free up some cupboard space so that I can store away my spindles and my e-spinner in my cupboard rather than have like yarn take up the space. Because I think, like many, I feel the overwhelm of having a stash. Not like a guilt of overwhelm or anything, it's just an overwhelm of I see all the things I want to do and I see all of the yarn I never get to because I also hand spin my own yarn, so I just want to free up some space, and unspun takes up a lot of space. So I've been crocheting with my Knitbrooks crochet hook. This was the my sign. What am I, Capricorn? Or something. Something to do with January babies. I don't know. I'm not very good with like that kind of stuff. But anyways, this is my hook for my year or month of birth, and I've just been crocheting these cute little squares of like all sorts of different colors from my stash of Nutiden, and I'll show you my little basket. Just got this basket, little balls of Nutiden. I definitely need like some colors, but then that defeats the purpose of like getting through my my cupboard. I have one sweater quantity of Nutiden, and then I've got like colors in 3 plates, so it could either be color work or shawls, or maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I've got this little basket and I'm just filling it up with these squares. This one, or like, yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I don't know how many I have or how many I'm gonna make. I don't know if it's gonna be a blanket or if it's gonna be a giant pillow. I'm just gonna keep crocheting because they're fun, and then every so often I get distracted and make different types of granny things. This one you can do a square border around. I need to figure that out. Here's another one. Or I thought, you know, coasters, gifts. This one, these cluster stitches are really fun to crochet. Or I've also done just you know, single colored squares. This one's a marled a gray with that peach, that Morgan color way. So yeah, that's my other one of my other whips that I've been really obsessed with and really happy to just work on because you know, I get tired of knitting too. And I'm desperately trying to finish this Sophie shawl. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. Probably not. I'm knitting this in a merino. I'm knitting with merino. And possum yarn. Do I still have the label? Possibly. Somewhere. I will link that down below. But this is really fun. It's got a nice halo. Look at that. Nice halo. Merino Possum. Fun stuff. Those are my whips. Alright, I had to free up some more space. I know this was a quick run through of my finished objects and works in progress. It is late, but and the sun goes down. Sorry. This hour before the sun sets, it's quite dramatic. It blazes in our living room bright and glorious, and some nights the sky is pink, some nights it's bright and yellow. I was hoping for a pink night, but not tonight, it's too cloudy. Anyway, so I did sort of blow right through, but I hope you don't mind that I did that. I haven't podcasted in a little while, and as you can tell, I've been busy doing a lot of work. Hi, Agnes. The rabbit is up here eating her hay. She would love for me to give her pellets. I'm very late giving them to her. Anyways, yeah, I have been busy, and I did a shop update with fiber, and when I got back from gathering threads in the Dawson Creek Fiber Festival, I did I had relaunched the website, so there's lots of wonderful yarn in the shop right now, including everything that I was showing with regards to this cowl. So 2 skeins of my hand dyed and a skein of Mick, but I will confirm how much yarn you need of the low mileage to make this cowl. But if you were thinking of wanting to try my low mileage wool, but still have some color in your life, because my low mileage wool is all the natural shades of the sheep, then this is a wonderful option. I can't get over this. It just is so cozy, and it blocked out really nice, filled out really nice. So yeah. Anyways, life things, let me think. Calvin is finishing up grade 1, and Sybil starts kindergarten. Oh gosh. This year. It's crazy. I was just showing the kids some videos today of when like Calvin started walking, or baby photos and videos, and you should have seen their faces. They were amazed just looking at who they are in baby form, and gooing and awing and making all those baby noises and sounds, and looking at John and I and how much younger we looked even just 5 years ago. It's wild. Just wild. Yeah, so otherwise I'm constantly just allowing myself to be creative and figuring out ways to bring that creativity into my work. I've been working at processing a lot of fleece lately. I have some fleeces at the mill that will be, I don't know when I'll get it back, but how many fleeces? I think I have like 10 or 12 fleeces at the mill that will come back in roving. So the breeds are like Romney, East Frisian, Merino crosses. This is all Canadian wool that I picked up in Alberta. What else do I have? Jacob. I can't remember all of the breeds. But they were really nice fleeces. To me, they're really nice. Who knows what the micron count is, but they're soft and beautiful. Different colors. So I also have, some colored roving coming back soon. So that's gonna be awesome. Better keep an eye on my decreases here on my Sophie Shawl, which is just a glorified scarf, by the way. Lots of garter, but satisfying to knit at the same time. I think this might be a gift. I'm not sure for who. I think it'll be a gift. Yeah, roving. I just got some fun yarn to dye that I'll do tomorrow. And then I will be gearing up for Knit City in Vancouver. So if you're in the Vancouver area for September, please come visit, say hi. I can't wait to go back to that festival. It's so much fun. And I'm not a city girl, but I do enjoy like a trip to a big city. It's fun. Especially when you can like go out and eat like whatever food you don't get here in the Yukon. So yeah, and then my husband continues on building houses. We've got 4 properties that are under construction. One house is just sold, so that's wonderful. And we've got other properties we're working on developing. And then otherwise, I've been enjoying visiting with friends here in the Yukon, and we've been out fishing with the kids. We've caught some trout, actually. Normally we catch pike at the beginning of the fishing year, and we haven't been out camping yet because usually our weekends get filled up with all sorts of family things or getting involved with stuff with our church. So we're hoping to go camping soon. The kids do well with that. But otherwise, I just hear Sybil coming up the stairs a little upset. She's woken up, so I'm going to say goodnight for now. And I hope you enjoyed my Midnight Sun podcast. Catch you later.